Hi, welcome everyone. I'm delighted to introduce Leslie, who's here with me today to talk about her journey of launching her career into Salesforce. Leslie did our course just over 4 years ago and upskilled with our Salesforce Administrator course. So Leslie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do you want to share a little bit about your journey and why you decided to launch your Salesforce career in the first place?
Sure. Thanks for having me. So I was working in IT already, and I was a project manager for many years. But when I was pregnant and then when my son was born, I was thinking I wanted to change focus and work with a technology that could offer remote work and flexible job opportunities. So my husband was already working in Salesforce, and I was hearing a lot about the Supermums program. So I was like, okay, I think Salesforce opens that door for those opportunities. So then I it led me to the Supermom, like doing some research and looking at the Supermoms program.
So we've had quite a few couples that are in the Salesforce world. The question is, do you talk about Salesforce over the dinner table now?
Not at the dinner table, but sometimes we are co-working. I said Salesforce lends itself to that flexibility. He gets to work 2 days from home. So we're constantly talking and exchanging ideas like, is this, what do you think about this? Or, how do I approach this situation? So it's a great dynamic. And
Oh,
um, sometimes my son comes in when we're working and we kind of show him what we do.
that's great. That's great. Well, we've definitely seen more of that trends. Husband already works in it, or the wife has done it, and then the husband gets into it, or partner, and it follows suit. So then the whole family will follow suit. So maybe you're you will too. Um, and so when obviously you're exploring the different ways to upskill, what made you choose Supermums over other options out there? What did you get from the course?
I think what stood out for me was that Supermoms offered the work experience and the mentorship. So I had already worked on a Salesforce project, but I wanted to keep building my portfolio. So I thought this is a great combination. I can take the online courses, I can get the work experience, have the mentorship. So that was actually the favorite part of the program because I think, you can go and do an online course, but it's that interaction, that family feeling that you have when you're doing that course and the real engagement and involvement. So that was really big for me.
That's something. Where was your mentor based?
In the UK,
In
yes.
the UK. Okay, fabulous. And it is, I think a lot of people lean on that because it's accountability that they're meeting with you every single week and holding your hand and supporting on that journey. Whereas it's quite easy. I mean, I've paid for quite a few online courses myself and never finished them. I don't have accountability. So
Exactly.
it holds you to account, doesn't it, if you have to meet somebody and go through it?
Absolutely.
Oh. And did you lean on the mentor and the instructor and the work experience for your references as well when you were going for job interviews?
I did. I had, I think I had a mentor plus then I had like a representative actually someone that was overseeing the work experience project with me.
Mm.
And that person, so in a way, she was my project manager, which was interesting because I'm usually a project manager on my projects. But yeah, I believe her name was Becky, and she's just amazing. She gave me a really nice reference, and it was true. She gave me great feedback and was able to provide a reference for me after the work experience project.
Fabulous. It always boosts your confidence, doesn't it, when
It
you've got
does.
that to you. So you completed the training course, and then how did you go about finding a job opportunity?
Well, first of all, again, going back to the Supermoms program, I believe you have recruiters and, that are helping you also find a job. So that was a big plus. Um, a lot of the roles are more UK based, but they did help me as best as they could with updating my CV, giving me tips on, how to update my LinkedIn profile, get that maximum view of other recruiters. So I think Supermoms was able to put me in contact with a few interviews. But ultimately, it was just being on LinkedIn and networking or making the connections with recruiters. And this one particular recruiter told me about the company that I'm with now.
That's fantastic. So what's been the journey with this company? It's been 4 years, I think you said, since you
Yes.
joined with them. Tell us what you've been doing over the last 4 years. What does it look like day to day? Because I think that's people's interest is what does the job entail? What would I do? What skills can I transfer over?
Okay. So ultimately, I ended up with the role at BAS. It's a Spanish-based consultancy, but in the last 10 years, they've grown globally. And we're in 26 countries and we have like 5,000 employees. So with that growth comes a lot of opportunities. So I first started as nearly 4 years ago as a senior project manager. And then I had been fortunate enough to have different leadership roles. So I've been a line manager. I've co-led the project management practice, and now I'm a customer success manager. But let's just talk about the project manager part of it because I think that's more relevant. That's been my background forever. The day-to-day is I'm working with my team because I am remote. I have to work. You have to work a little bit harder to maintain those relationships with your colleagues. So um, I try to have those meaningful discussions, get to know my team better, understand, how they're feeling, because that also impacts the way that we implement, projects. Um, then we'll probably, we use agile, methodologies. So we'd have like the daily one-on-ones or the daily calls with our customer and with the team as well. And that kind of sets us up for the day. What are we focusing on? And what we implement as far as Salesforce is can be wide and varying. There can be customers that are just doing one cloud, or it can be a multi-cloud implementation. So it always changes up. There's no one project we know that's unique. So it makes your day-to-day or different when you have a wide variety of projects that you're working on over a course of time. Um, then obviously we talk to the customer. So again, even though you don't have that face-to-face with remote work, you're always using Teams and trying to keep in contact with the customer, keeping them abreast on what's going on. And then even outside of the project, VAS, we have a lot of different initiatives to grow the business, stabilize, or not stabilize, but really get our operations in order. So there's special initiatives. So we were working on upskilling consultants and giving them a career path into a TA role. So
Right.
I was asked to deliver a session, I think like a 3-hour session on project management and how to work with customers when you're in that TA role and when you have to really show some project management skills. So it's nice. So you just don't do your day-to-day job. You can participate in other initiatives.
That's fantastic. And you said it was one of the best companies that you've worked for. Do you want to just tell us about the working culture and environment? And it's amazing that you can work remotely where you are in Spain for, UK-based projects, you were saying as well.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that stood out to me was the vast culture. They're all about people first. We have this internal saying, yeah, that we want shiny, happy people. And the culture is focused around employees, very much so. Um, the flexibility, it's so I can take my son to school in the morning and drop him off versus, having to arrange, alternative childcare or, it just, I'm not missing out on some of these, special and precious moments with my child. I can attend his school events, and Baz is very understanding of that. Um, and it makes me more motivated to be a better employee, and it builds my loyalty with them, and it makes me want to just stay there forever, to be honest.
Oh, that's lovely. And I mean, that's what you want to hear, right? And obviously, as you mentioned, you've had progression, different role opportunities as you've been there as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So the big question, the final question is, has it helped you achieve the goals that you set out to do?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to switch careers into Salesforce, and that has been very rewarding. And I wanted to find that flexibility, which I have. Like I said, my son is very important to me, and I don't have to miss those special times. So I can still be a mom, and I can still be um, an effective, employee or build my career. So I think I did achieve my goals.
Oh, that's fantastic. And that's definitely a supermum quality, Leslie.
Yes,
I mean, you want to achieve that balance. And I think that's really important that you've been able to find that balance in a company where you can thrive in your career and give back and upskill people and feel like you're giving the right level of quality to your customers. But equally, you've got that balance at home where you can work remotely, even from another country, which is a fantastic story, and obviously spend the time with your son as well. So thank you so much for sharing your story. It's absolutely lovely. I know it was have such a delight seeing where people are in the ecosystem after they've been through the course. So thank you so much for sharing everything today.
sure. Thank you, Heather.